It's episode 5 of Building and Coach for every dinosaur in the game. Today it's Alamosaurus. I started with the idea that Alamosaurus is a huge dinosaur, and I thought of the idea where guests could get eye contact with the dinosaur, if that makes sense, where the Alamosaurus could look up into the viewing gallery. I don't know why I didn't think of the viewing tower originally. It would have been probably better, but this is not what I went with if you saw the thumbnail and read the title, which... if this is on autoplay, I'm surprised you're in my autoplay, or I'm in your autoplay or whatever, or in your recommended. But either way, I'm just going to continue along, and I decided to line the path with this area, and decided to go with a walkthrough path, because I thought that would be cool, and I want to go with the area. I decided to create a place where the facility path turns into the wide path, and just start to create the trail. I didn't want any close overlaps for each other, so I just started playing around with everything and made a water feature because I decided to make a bridge. And now I'm just going to smooth everything out. And I wanted to play around with the idea of a bridge, and this is originally where I didn't start with, and then I just started with that. The bridge was probably the most detailed part of this enclosure, besides the dinosaur nest and everything else, which you'll get to later. Decided to put some temperate foliage, and then I decided on redwoods because I really like the redwoods and not a big fan of the temperate foliage. Now I'm just going to continue on with the rock work and making it look like a bridge because we can't really continue along with the water all the way under the path. So this is how we make everything correct, if that makes sense. I'm going to make some pylons for the ridge, for the suspenders, and now I'm just going to continue along with the trail. It's supposed to be a hiking trail if you haven't gotten that already, so it's supposed to, put in a good hike. I'd say, in reality, this hiking trail would probably be a mile, or maybe somewhat of a half a mile or three-quarters of a mile. It's almost a mile. It depends on your walking speed. But I'd have to put in a lot, I'd have to do a lot of calculations and to find out what the exact amount of trail is. It would be cool if we had just 20 meters of path, 30 meters of path, so on and so forth. And I put so much rocks here that I didn't even think about putting the foliage. And now I do not want to do the rocks at all. This was like, oh my god, I don't want to continue to build at this stage. But I continued along because it's just rocks. And I think the evolution of this channel has been going really good because at first my builds were not great. They weren't great at all. And now I think they're really good. I won't say they're on par with anybody like Evolution Square or Legion or Jurassic Canyon King, but they're pretty good. I'm just going to continue along with the entrance and exit and just finding a way for that tour truck. Now I finished that part up and decided to put fencing everywhere. I wanted to go with some invisible fence, but I decided that wasn't good. I can't. I'm just going to continue along with the path, and I decided to put this little canyon so people would have to walk uphill and downhill. And I didn't put railings because I remember when I was younger, I would just go wander off into the woods near the hiking trails. And gonna continue on with the redwood forests and placing some ground up for the Alamosaurus to feed because it's supposed to be an attraction. I would say put this in the corner of your parks because it's really big. Put this in the corner of your parks to have Alamosaurus be there, or any sauropod really. It can work anywhere. Now I'm going to continue on with the fence and just continue on lining the path. I couldn't really figure out what I was going to do with this, and now I'm just currently seeing how this works. I really like that tour junction, I think that's what it's called, and using the facility path with it. And I want to put some amenities, but then I realized it would be blocking the path to the enclosure itself. So I decided to put some guest areas with some restrooms. I'm still lining everything up, and I decided to put a little nature path, bushes, planters, everything, and trees. Now I'm just going to continue along with the restrooms. That looked pretty cool. And now I'm just gonna line this little excess space because we don't have that much, and make it a tiny guest area. Maybe waiting for some people to finish up. And there's some tables and chairs. This is pretty good guest area building. I think this is the highlight of the build, the guest area, because other than that, the enclosure is just forest, and that's pretty much it. So I had to put some response facilities around because I want, in case somebody got stuck on the hiking trail or somebody was making Alamosaurus mad, and just response facility on team for everything, any situation, because people would go crazy with it. I lined up the sides with each side, red for exit, green for enter, you know, everything else. And I decided to go to work on the guest area, try to make them as symmetrical as possible, and I thought they turned out pretty good. Along with the path, I think the path was what made it a little bit weird. And I really like that Bowson fountain. It's really cool. If you see my horror show, I might do something with it at the very end. I still been working on the voice lines for the other people. So far, I've Dress King's actual voice lines. I'm just waiting for him to record them. And Crazy Cat Miri is going to go right after Dress King along with Rob. And they're going to have a conversation together, so it's just going to be pretty cool. I did some building in Prehistoric Kingdom for that, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. And now I'm lining up with planters and benches. This is everything else with the planters, the facility path, and this is how you make an entrance into the park. Again, I feel like the highlight of the series is to showcase how you can do enclosures. And I added the redwoods there for decoration. And just gonna do some rock work, maybe some gastroliths. I'm not sure if Alamosaurus ate gastroliths, but it's good. And yeah. Now I'm just gonna continue along with this big gastrolith area, and I decided to create a nest. And I had a little bit of trouble with this nest because I wasn't really sure how to play it out, but it turned out really cool. And now I'm just gonna use the Mediterranean rocks as eggs. I decided to create big eggs because big sauropod hatch from big eggs. And this is it. This is entering the hiking trail. It turned out to be alright, I think. And this is the Alamosaurus bridge. I really got a lot of Alamosaurus here. It was a really lucky shot because I didn't use any modding or anything for this, even though I have been looking at modding. It was a really cool shot. And to clear up anything, you may have seen another content creator called Michael Young doing an episode on this. I'd say we started about the same time. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm sorry if you're watching this. I did not mean to steal it. I honestly saw it like 5 episodes after. This is the end of this video. Be sure to tune into the live stream coming later today. And until next time, bye-bye.